grille for me. Before we get started, I would like to extend a special thanks and shout out to BMW of Reading for being super gracious and for allowing me to film the all-new 4 Series. And while you're here, you might as well put your foot on the brake and hit that subscribe button. The grille design on the new 4 Series has everybody ranting and raving, but mostly ranting. And for good reason too. It's a rather radical departure from what we're used to seeing from BMW. But in its defense, now that I've seen it in person, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Also in its defense, I posted the new 4 Series on my personal Instagram story. I put a poll asking people what they thought of it, and 77% of the people liked it. But if I'm being honest, only 13 people voted. But for how many views you get on social media, only a fraction of which actually interact. So it is what it is. That's a rant for another day. By the way, can you guys please be an exception to this and subscribe to my channel? And looking around the rest of the car, the rest of it does look really nice. Very curvaceous shape. It looks really good in white. The curvaceousness is almost like late 2000s Lexus-like. A bit of a double-edged sword when you consider that while it does look really nice, you can almost mistake it for a Lexus or a Mercedes, especially if you don't see the BMW badges. Like the Hofmeister cake is kind of toned down for this car. A BMW design staple in which the rearmost window curves backwards. This forms a letter C shape on the C pillar. The reason why they do this is to reinforce the fact that BMWs are rear-wheel drive, or at least most of them are. It's kind of odd to see the 4 Series having a somewhat diminished version of this. It's not as pronounced, almost as if the big grille is making up for the lack of other BMW design elements. I will say though that white is definitely this car's color. It suits the car very well, and overall it is a nice looking car. I like the wheels on it too. But they really shouldn't have made the grille that big. Okay, so I might have gotten a little carried away with the grille rant. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and spare you guys of all the complaining. But I probably should mention that it is functional and it has active grille shutters for improved fuel economy and aerodynamics. One of the features that's definitely cool about this car is the BMW laser lights. This advanced and efficient headlight system uses a complex set of mirrors and LEDs to project the light in different directions. It projects its light onto pedestrians, objects, animals, and road signs. When using the navigation system, it can anticipate and then light up turns before the car is even facing that direction. It also automatically dims to avoid blinding other drivers. The compact luxury 4 Series replaced the 3 Series Coupe in 2014, and now in its second generation, we should give props to BMW for continuing to make coupes in this heavily SUV-infested marketplace. Basically, the only competition that's left is the Audi A5, Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe, and Lexus RC Coupe. So basically what's new about this new generation 4 Series is it's based off the G20 3 Series. And what's new is like all the styling. Obviously, the interior is a lot different. It has a lot more technological features. They now have a wider front track and the 50-50 weight distribution, which is awesome. And the drag coefficient is only 0.25, which is among the lowest. The lowest drag coefficient of any production car is the Tesla Model S, and that's 0.24. So good on BMW for that. There's several different variants of the 4 Series. There's the base 430i, the M440i, which is faster than that, the M4, which is the fastest version, and the M4 Competition, which is faster than the fastest version of the 4 Series. So I probably confused 76% of the people that have been watching this, so I'm going to confuse more of you. The M440i is not the M version of this car. That's the M4. If you're familiar with BMW terminology, you would know that BMW's M cars are the high-performance variants of the regular cars. While this car has many M badges, it is a M performance car, meaning that it's not quite the full-on M car, but it's a step above the base cars, similar to what Audi does with the S cars being a step below the RS cars. One thing that BMW likes to do is to make you pull the hood release twice in order to open the hood. This car is powered by a 3-liter twin-scroll turbocharged inline 6-cylinder that makes 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. But what if I told you the M440i is a hybrid? In the engine bay sits a 48-volt 11 horsepower electric starter motor. It's not like a Prius in that it can run on electric power alone. However, the electric motor does assist the engine so the engine doesn't have to work as hard. The less the engine has to work, the better the fuel economy. The mild hybrid system also smoothens the engine stop-start feature. In fact, it can shut the engine off even before the car stops. While the torque figure for the electric motor isn't rated, electric torque is instant, and it uses its electric motor to fill in torque while the turbo is still spooling. This means turbo lag is nearly invisible. This is the first time an electric motor has been fitted to this particular engine. Otherwise, it's the same B58 series engine that's also in the lights of the M440i and the new Supra, which means that it sounds amazing. Alright, and now let's put the window up. This car is only available with the 8-speed automatic transmission designed by ZF. It's not available as a manual, and it's your guys' fault. It's your fault because not enough people bought manual 4 Series for the last generation, and also because of the general decline of manual car sales altogether. That said, BMW did promise that they will make a manual M4. Until then, stick shift enthusiasts were stuck with the horribly easy to use and fast shifting 8-speed auto. It also has a sport mode and a manual mode with paddle shifters. All 4 Series models are rear-wheel drive with an optional X-Drive all-wheel drive system, except for the M440i, which is all-wheel drive only. Like most BMWs, it has comfort access as standard, so just tap this to lock the door, and just tap here to unlock it, as long as you have the key on you. As you would expect with a BMW, it has push-button start as well. As long as the car is unlocked, it allows you to use all of the accessories. But to start the engine, just put your foot on the brake and hit the start button. Alright, so now we're sitting in the interior of the car, and it is pretty nice in here, I have to say. It's basically the exact same interior as in the 3 Series, but just with different door panels, but same dash, same steering wheel and everything. Definitely has a lot of storage compartments, especially for a coupe, and the ambient lighting is very nice as well. It's also configurable. The infotainment definitely takes some getting used to, but it's still fairly easy to use overall. You can use it as a touchscreen, or you can use the controller right here. If you don't want to do that, it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. It also has gesture controls, which this car doesn't have, but you can kind of move your hand like that and it will adjust the volume and whatnot. It also has a fully digital gauge cluster, and you can configure it to show you your radio or your navigation on the display as well. Dual zone automatic climate control, of course, heated seats, and it has a wireless phone charger and even a Wi-Fi hotspot. And when you put the car in reverse, it has a backup camera. I actually noticed just now that when I put it in reverse, this passenger side mirror folds down. The guidance lines change, like with the direction of the wheel also. This one has the driver's assistance package, so it has full speed adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and front and side collision prevention. It also comes with an onboard voice activated assistant, so you can tell the car along the lines of, "Hey BMW, I want coffee," and it'll take you to a coffee place. You can also lock, unlock, and start the engine of your car with a BMW app as well. This car in particular is missing the cooled front seats the Harman Kardon surround sound system, the onboard dash cam. It's also missing the parking assistance package, which includes parking sensors, a 360-degree camera, and fully autonomous self-parking. And it's also missing the executive pack, which adds on top of the premium package the gesture controls and the laser lights.
Another thing that's so cool is as soon as you shut the door, it makes it easier to put your seatbelt on.
As shown, this car stickers for $67,450. But what do you guys think of it? Do you like it? Do you think it's worth the money? Now that I provided you with a closer look on this car, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments section below.